YouTube, how's it going? Swamp Piper 84 coming your way today with a VR to My Brother Smokey Dan. Now, Smokey Dan wanted us to read a passage from one of our favorite books. It took me a minute to really decide on what book I wanted to read from. I thought of some Edgar Allan Poe stuff, but I figured that would be too obvious for me. Uh, Thought about some Shakespeare. Midsummer Night's Dream is one of my favorite plays. I might even read a little bit of that later on. But ultimately, I decided on Batman the Killing Joke. And it's the Joker's monologue from the end of the book. If you guys aren't familiar with the story, Joker basically kidnaps Commissioner Gordon, shoots his daughter in the spine, and takes some very inappropriate pictures of her, and puts Commissioner Gordon through hell, basically trying to prove that one bad day can turn even the best man into just a lunatic. So, definitely not a kid's story, but here's the monologue. I'm cheating a little bit. I brought it up on my Kindle, but I'll put it back like that. And here we go. So, I see you received the free ticket I sent you. I'm glad. I did so want you to be here. You see, it doesn't matter if you catch me and send me back to the asylum. Gordon's been driven mad. I've proved my point. I've demonstrated that there's no difference between me and everyone else. All it takes is one bad day to reduce the sanest man alive to lunacy. That's how far the world is from where I am. Just one bad day. You had a bad day once, am I right? I know I am. I can tell. You had a bad day and everything changed. Why else would you dress up like a flying rat? You had a bad day and it drove you as crazy as everybody else. Only you won't admit it. You have to keep pretending that life makes sense, that there's some point to all this struggling. God, you make me want to puke. I mean, what is it with you? What made you what you are? Girlfriend killed by the mob, maybe? Brother carved up by some mugger? Something like that, I bet. Something like that. Something like that happened to me. You know, I'm not exactly sure what it was. Sometimes I remember it one way. Sometimes I remember the other. If I'm going to have a past, I prefer it to be multiple choice. Haha. But my point is, I went crazy. When I saw what a black, awful joke the world was, I went crazy as a coot. I admit it. Why can't you? I mean, you're not unintelligent. You must see the reality of the situation. Do you know how many times we've come close to World War III over a flock of geese on a computer screen? Do you know what triggered the last World War? An argument over how many telegraph poles Germany owed its war debt creditors. Telegraph poles. It's all a joke. Everything anybody ever valued or struggled for, it's all a monstrous, demented gag. So why can't you see the funny side? Why aren't you laughing? Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed that one. And to close it off, I'm going to read the Puck's monologue from Midsummer Night's Dream, the closing one. And before I read it, peace, and as always, be excellent to each other. If we shadows have offended, think but this and all is mended, that you have but slumbered here, while these visions did appear, and this weak and idle theme, no more yielding but a dream. Gentles do not reprehend, if you pardon we will mend, and as I am an honest Puck, if we have unearned luck, now to scape the serpent's tongue, we will make amends ere long, else the Puck a liar call, so good night unto you all, give me your hands if we be friends, and Robin shall restore amends.